to stand steady sail on the Irish rover. Everywhere, up to the rocket. There was Barney McGee on the banks of the Lee. There was Hogan from County Tyrone. There was Johnny Nugger. He was scared to step aboard, and a blow from his knee all below. And there was Silver Roll too. Now he was rootin' and for Pruden, and the fighting out with Gracie from Dover. You man make my hand for the banks of the van. Well, he's the skipper of the Irish rover. Whoa! Hup! 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 We had sailed 7 years when the measles broke out. The ship was stuck a rock in the fog. Letty your crew for a year's down the two. Just me and the captain's old dog. But then the ship it struck a rock. Oh Lord, what a shock. The bulkhead it turned right over. Turned 9 times around, and the poor old dog was drowned. Ow. To trash the Irish rover. Hey! I'm the last of the Irish rover.
Outstanding, absolutely lovely. And we had the crowd going wild.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome. I like that kind of gritty, you can feel it, it's contagious enthusiasm in a song, you know?
Very just uplifting. I mean, Irish people can either go crazy with their music, or they can get very romantic and very, sentimental and reflective. And,
it's you have both of the extremes, which really makes it great. Now, of course, for so many people, Danny Boy was kind of the the epitome of an Irish ballad for the longest time. It's still a classic.
I think so, yeah.
But there's so much of this dancing, fun, stomping type of music, and I love all of that sort of stuff. The river dance took America by storm for the longest time.
Did. What a great job as well. I mean, the music is fabulous.
Oh, no doubt about that. I love that song. Now, tell me about that song. Is that an old song, a new song? The one you just performed?
That's the Irish Rover. That's quite old now.
Okay.
I mean, that's I wouldn't say bog standard, but it would be one that's known by many, many people. It's one of those more famous classics like Whiskey in the Jarro. That's in the same family.
You see, I'm coming at this out of left field, so I know very few songs, but I like that, and it's it's got that grittiness to it. I like.
And we've loads of songs actually as well that have, because so many of us travel to America.
Right.
We've got so many songs about traveling to America.
And I think that's inspirational, because so much American culture has been influenced by the Irish.
Yeah, well, big cities, New York, and Boston, Chicago, and they're all got major Irish influence there.
Well, to this day, so many people in the police department in New York have been fourth generation Irish that's been their trade. Yeah, and
that's where their family are from. They're from Ireland.
So you can, and of course even the paddy wagon was of course tracing that back. So many or the paddies, is because that was their kind of the slang term for those.
Well, they call them paddy wagons as well, because that's mainly what got thrown. was drunk paddies. So that's why they call it the paddy wagon.
Sure, and in our big St. Patrick's Day parade, St. Patrick's Day becoming this huge American thing.
Yeah, Boston was the first one ever.
Right? Yeah. So, I mean, tons of influence. And you got to have a gritty culture for people to come from so far away to a place that they've never been for the opportunity to work and achieve.
Well, it was the new land, wasn't it, America? Well, at that time, it was the land of opportunity. Everybody knew that. There was work, there was construction. There was nothing in Ireland.
Well, the railroad, the Irish railroad workers, that's another thing too. I mean, when you can lay railroad as fast as a man can walk at a normal pace.
Tough guys.
That's some serious construction, And we're talking about manual labor. We didn't have any kind of real assisted anything for all that. It's lift up the...
Yeah,
and put it down.
Big strong men, huh?
Right,
yeah,
right.
I love it.
Now they did build the Titanic, you know, in a few places, but I mean we're gonna forget about that altogether. You know, but
I don't know that Celine Dion song, by the way. If that's where you're going with this.
You don't.
I'm not gonna do it.
All right. I guess we can let you slide. It sank in the end. I mean, you know, I don't want to ruin the story for anybody. But no, I think this is going to be a lot of fun because it's something different. You get a chance to have real. I mean, there's not to say that against anybody who's playing Irish music that's not from Ireland, but it's a whole other feel for hey, this is where you are, this is where you grew up, you experienced it all.
I think that's the thing about the songs as well, especially the older songs where you didn't have Facebook or any type of social media or ways of keeping a story alive of an incident that happened or something, you know. So songs and stories were where it was at, like, you know.
Right.
And so that's why songs that I sing remind people come up and go, oh, that reminds me of my grandfather, you know, he used to sing that to me when I was a kid. And I love hearing that.
Yeah.
That really makes me go, yeah, well, I'm carrying on playing that tune.
Right.
For that whole reason, really.
Well, and there's so many things that are hidden within American culture that came from the Irish. And just the other day, we have a cowboy ballad, the song, "Get Along, Little Doggie."
Right.
And I always thought, maybe they were calling cows dogs and whatnot, and maybe they used to herd dogs. Who knows? But really, apparently, it's a Gaelic term. A dogie is a sick calf. Okay. And so that's where this whole, this whole thing we've heard, I've been punching dogies and all the other sorts of things, was language that were coming from cowboys, who a lot of them were Irish immigrants coming over.
Well, we have
my producer's laughing at me right now. What are you laughing at me for over there?
No, I'm just commenting.
Oh, well, it's only impressive if we're playing bar trivia. And then we can win bar trivia. It really, there's no test in college to ask about these sorts of things. So
it's what you pick up in movies and everything else, isn't it? Really?
Right. I mean, and I'm always fascinated by language, and so much of our language is affected by. We don't realize it, but it's affected by what people were bringing from other countries when they came.
Absolutely.
A lot of it from Ireland.
I mean, I've met Jamaicans that speak Gaelic words.
Really?
Like, they call their Gansey, which Gansey is a jumper, and they'd be like, yeah, do you like me Gansey, man? And it's like, they've got that from unfortunately, and the Gruga, they call their hair Gruga as well, some of them, which is Gaelic for hair. And it's just from comes from the slave time, really, to
right.
Which is probably something we shouldn't be proud of.
But it's just interesting the connection there that goes.
They got words from whatever.
Right. And so for a relatively small island, you've had a pretty large global influence throughout the world.
Yeah, I mean, we've had the presidents of America come over the years,
right?
And they'd have massive speeches and saying how influential such a small island was.
Sure. It's fantastic stuff to see and to hear. And there was, of course, we were talking about some of the you guys got the rowdy and the gritty songs, and then you've got this one song here that I didn't expect to find in the midst of all of the other, and
which one?
Caledonia. It was a beautiful song,
yes,
and you delivered it in quite a unique way. I mean, it's
I don't do it like anybody else does it.
No, sure. You don't, and so that's the thing. It's like maybe I'd heard it before, but it never caught my attention until I was listening to the way that you did it. And the thing with music that I think is fascinating, whether it's a style you've listened to before or not, or whether it's something completely different. And I think for a lot of people, your real original type of music and the way that you do things is different. But you can't help but to find a connection for yourself on a lot of these things. Whether it's the experience of the emotion or whether the story that it tells. And the thing that I also like is that in the midst of all of the rambunctiousness and then the emotion that you bring to it, you still hear the clarity of words, which I think is amazing because you have people from other places with accents and the rest of this. Yet when you're singing, it seems so clear. There's not any real.
It's a different type of voice, isn't it?
Well, it is.
Voice.
It is, and so, but this I guess is an older song, Caledonia.
Caledonia wouldn't be as old as the Irish Rover or anything like that, but it's actually by a Scottish singer-songwriter called Dougie MacLean.
Okay.
And he wrote the song. I mean, would it be even 20 years old? Probably not even.
Right.
I'm not sure, but yeah, probably 20 to 30 years old. That song. and it's just a little masterpiece as far as I'm concerned.
It is.
It's very hard to write songs so simply like that.
Right, and that's the other thing that I thought was amazing about it, is that it's simple, yet it has a complexity in its delivery. And that's where I think you see a lot of genius in songwriting is the words are simple, but boy do they fit together so well.
I basically, I don't want to get too technical, but basically I simplified the chord structures because for myself, because I personally thought that it flowed better. But the way Dougie wrote it, it's different the way he does it, and he's got little changes in it that I felt kind of held the melody back a bit.
Okay.
You know, and I just felt, well, I could be a bit more freer with my voice if I just keep the chord structure more basic.
Sure.
So, and that's why I don't know whether he'll ever talk to me or tell me I'm wrong or right, but I love his song. I think it's great, and I'd like to shake his hand and say thanks for a wonderful tune.
Well, you've got to squeeze this in before we run out of time today.
Absolutely.
If you can play that for us, it would be awesome, because it really is. This is one of those that it is a change up from some of the grittier songs that you have, but definitely makes you think of somebody that's important to you. So
always.
Yeah. So all right. Well, you ready to play that for us?
I'm born ready, Eric.
All right, that's what I like to hear. And you can hear Brian Brody at Cassidy's Irish Pub tonight. I'll be there. And this is called Caledonia. Caledonia. Why did I say Caledonia? Sorry.
I'm playing in Cassidy's.
Yes, you are. So we'll just,
I could sing that later in Cassidy's. Caledonia. You've been everything.
Okay, well, redo.
No, here you can see the changes that have come over me in the past few days. I've been afraid that I might drift away. I've been telling those stories, singing the songs, helps me think about where I come from, and that's the reason why I feel so far away today. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, and I'm going home. But if I should become a stranger, tell you that would make me more than sad. Caledonia, you've been everything I've ever had. I have moved and I'll keep on moving to the point that I needed proving. I lost friends that I needed losing, found others on the way. I tell you, I've kissed some girls, I've left them crying. I stole their dreams, yes, there's no denying. I travel hard, sometimes my conscience flying somewhere with the wind. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, now you're calling me, I'm going home. But if I should become a stranger, tell you that would make you more than sad. Caledonia, you've been everything I've ever had. Sitting here beside the fire, the empty rooms like a forest choir with the dreams can't get any higher. They're withered now and gone. I'm steady thinking my way is clear. I know what I will do tomorrow when the hands they've shaken, lost, disappeared. This is all I could say. Let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, though you're calling me, you know I'm going home. But if I should become a stranger, that would make me more than sad. Caledonia, you've been everything I've ever had. So let me tell you that I love you. I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me. Now I'm going home. But if I should become a stranger, that would make me more than sad. Caledonia, you've been everything I've ever had. Caledonia, you've been everything I've ever had.
Outstanding. Love that song. Very well done again. And that's Brian Brody. You'll be able to hear him tonight at Cassidy's. Think you're going to start up around 9 or something like that, I think. Something along those 10. All right.
Yeah, say, we'll go middle of the road. Say 9:30.
Yeah, 9, we'll split the difference.
I'll be there from that time anyway.
And looking forward to it. We'll have a bonus promotional moment. We'll be back in just a second. But again, that's Brian Brody here on the Eric Von Wade Show with Sports Radio Corpus Christi.
Thank you very much.
You know what time it is.